switch. Right. Hello everyone and welcome to our ProjectTerra Game Dev stream. I'm Felix aka Luxin and I will do the game development, and with me in the voice chat are Henne aka Geflügel and Stefan aka Regidan.
The part.
It's me.
Yes, yes. I mean, of course, yes, in English.
And we have our music bot.
Felix, you must die here and now.
And this soundboard that's currently threatening me to kill me. And I think Flora will also show up sometime later, maybe.
Yes, she will join us later, most likely.
And yes, so today we will work on a new enemy in Terra, or more like our first actual enemy. I mean, that thing we had before was more or less a test, fortunately.
Don't disrespect the naked hentai guy.
I'm gonna update the camera for a moment because it's delayed again. But yeah, so we actually have something which is more close to a pretty familiar enemy in Crosscode. I'll let you guess which one. And yeah, like I have the basics already implemented. I will mostly just try to polish some things, create better effects for the attacks, create a few new attacks and make the enemy move around a bit more. So rather easy stuff. And I think there's also new stuff we can show. Quite a lot of stuff, in fact.
The new enemy. Let me guess. It's a very iconic Crosscode enemy. It's Tim. Tim.
Yes, it must be Tim.
Say it's pronounced Tim.
Tim. Okay, we got a subscription already by Black Eagle. Yeah, Bill Fork.
It's Bill Fork 34.
34.
Damn it, Anna.
The Beforgle giving you more pocket change. Thank you.
Thanks, Beforgle.
Beforgle. Yeah. Okay.
Felix, I'm a bit worried about you.
Yeah?
Me too.
You don't have a blanket. What's going on?
Oh, that's true. Let me actually get one. Give me a moment.
See? Without me, Felix would have gotten sick now.
Sure.
And
I think there are plenty of times where he got sick of you, so...
okay. You preemptively countered my different my own joke, because I wanted to say he was about to get sick and then do kickflips around the office.
Time for cozy game dev. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's perfect music.
Okay.
Much to talk
yes?
about. Yeah, showing stuff first. Yeah, showing stuff.
Yeah, we'll show off some stuff, but also before I start with that, some stream basics, because I think we have a few new watchers. So you can ask questions, of course, at any time. Make sure to write at @ReadyGefishGames or at Geflügel or at Regidan, so we will spot the question. And I think that's about it. Yes, we will show off some stuff, then we will do game development. Still no drawing because there's just too little time, unless I want to stream until midnight, but I don't think today is a good day for that.
You're too old for this.
Yeah, I'm too old for that, in short. So, let me show new stuff, but before we get to the enemy, actually, I want to show the new water shader, because that one already got so much attention.
Everyone worked on water this week in some capacity.
Like there was, we had too much, like, I don't know, like it's like we had nothing better to do. Everybody was just working on... Whoa!
I might
oh no! Guys, we have music.
No.
We have music.
Leave.
We have 2 breadboards now. What's going on?
You need to use minus.
I'm sorry. It's a good... I swear, it's a very good background music. Okay.
Water. Yes.
Or minus.
Minus.
We were. I mean, yeah. Obviously, water is the eternal quest of every game dev to make water look good.
Yeah.
without having to physically simulate it.
Yeah. So here's like a better configured water. It's still too high.
No.
have-
Like the center map now uses the same prefab, right?
Oh,
Right. Yeah, it looks like it goes above.
I think we
makes
just need to now lower it like a few pixels, and then it's fine. It's just too high. In fact, let me just do this quickly. We do have.
Hey there.
Oh, hello. Here's Flora. Okay.
Oh, my connection is not really good right now. All kind of starting here.
Okay, so I just lowered it by 2 pixels. That seems to work well. Oh yeah, that's the bug where if you run out and you dash into it, you actually just stop. I have to look into that again. Anyway, so here, now we don't have this bug anymore. Anyway, here's our new water shader. It looks a lot better, I think. So a lot of time this week actually went into water, I think. But
Oh, right. I haven't pushed my changes yet.
oh, okay.
Oh,
So
sorry.
there's even more changes.
Yeah, the shadows wobble now too, and I tried to make it that you can like push them up so they can land on the surface, but it's a bit. I know what I need to do. It's a bit more complicated than I thought.
Okay.
So I probably won't do it right now or next week. Sometime
Okay.
after that.
Yeah, we can still tweak that, obviously. So, yeah, we have new water. What else can I show?
You can type in the debugger.
Yeah.
Or, like in the console, you can type g_hut.setTask or g.task.
G.task?
No, g.hut, right? Because like it's our global
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Und dann set task?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
and then a string. You can put a string in, but yeah, that works too.
Okay, let's see. Do something! Okay. We have a task. Yay, that's also new.
Yeah, it looks very similar to Crosscode. I mean, it uses the same asset. I changed the background color to a little bit more blue.
And here we actually see the task again, yeah. I mean, right now, like, it's essentially edited crosscode art. I think we will still change things to make it look a bit more unique, I think.
Yes, those are simply test assets.
Placeholders, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
And
so...
you can also, the cool thing about this, you can also, like, change the font. I made it, I actually got it so that you can change the font, the system font, and all the text automatically updates its height too. So all the containers, when you're in the pause menu and you can kind of change the option for the font stuff, it changes the height of the container to look better. So no weird empty space. Because system font is usually a little bit smaller, a little bit less height.
Alright, so, I mean, and the other big feature that I've been working on this week is essentially a new weapon. So, because now you actually have a hammer to attack, which is still not finalized, but you can see that's a much slower weapon. In fact, I think we also plan to make the sword somewhat slower because it's very, very fast compared to the hammer. But yeah,
maybe it gets faster when you unlock some skills for it.
Yeah.
Even I thought about that. It could stuff like that.
That not
in
a
the beginning you
shovel.
No.
I mean, the hammerhead doesn't look perfect yet, because that's a placeholder. But it's not that easy to make this because you actually need a lot of poses for this graphics because it's very three-dimensional and you can see it from a lot of different angles. So I just made something simple and made it from all the different angles. So we have something at least. But yeah, it does look a bit like an X, like a wide X, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
side note,
graphics are not final.
did we mention that Yellow Camel and some pun with Chloe subscribed?
No, I forgot about that. Damn.
Yep. Yellow Camel subscribed for the third month. It says yay. And some pun with Chloe subscribed with Twitch Prime, which is like a very nice thing. But we might explain it later why it's so nice. You will be surprised.
Yeah, like there are 10 reasons why Prime is amazing. Number 4 will blow your mind.
Number 4 will blow your mind, and doctors especially hate number 8.
Mm-hmm.
It's like especially hated by doctors.
There's actually a few questions, at least one. Okay, I mean, Kovac asks, will Porter's Gray have cloud shadows on the ground like Crosscode had? I think we already tried that, and I think that's still an option.
Paris Gray is
sorry, ProjectTerra, I'm sorry. I don't know, it's just red
also
PT.
Not the game name.
Yeah.
We didn't shadow reveal that now.
No, I don't know, I just read PT and there was some weird old instinct that PT means Porter's Gray, but it's ProjectTerra. Okay, there was a question, do you write the shader in GLSL? I think Flora already answered that. It's GLSL, yes. We do have some stuff to connect source files and all that. But, will ProjectTerra have bird enemies, flying enemies? Yeah, there will be flying enemies, definitely.
Yes.
Like in
and
Crosscode.
they will be less annoying than in Crosscode.
Because you can shoot up.
Like a glaive? Nah.
Okay, and then there's a question by Crimshit. I'm very new to this dev streams, and I wanted to know if this game is a sequel to of sorts to Crosscode, because I remember something saying that, but I don't know. It's not really a sequel. The game will have a similar mix in gameplay, but it's like a new setting and a new kind of story, so it will not be directly related to Crosscode. That's at least the plan. So, okay, and
also,
finally, the fun new thing. Yeah, okay, also like the axis, the hammer is actually now going into the ground. That's also obviously not final, but yeah.
Will ProjectTerra have a biome purely for capybara? Of course.
Yes, a capybara.
There is no capybara level.
There's no capybara.
Oh no.
Also, a certain Yui Cannon subscribed for the 22nd month.
Thank you.
Which is really nice.
Okay.
Also, wait.
Silverstone JB actually says...
Do game dev. I'll just read.
There's a comment by Silverstone JB. Suppose it'd be awesome if you can recycle a lot of tooling and other techniques from Crosscode. There's still a lot to invent anyway, like the multiple weapon types opposed to the Zeromancer. I mean, yes, obviously we do use a lot of stuff we use in Crosscode, and it's mostly just porting code from our old code base to the new code base already saves a lot of time because you already have something that works. There's like a lot of things actually are easier to do now for us.
Yeah, also like since we're using TypeScript, autocomplete is much better.
Yes.
Like, you don't understand how much time you save.
Did we actually show this already? We also have like some really fancy light effects here.
Oh no, it was paused. You had a... Okay, it was a breakpoint.
Yeah. There's also new stuff here. Still think this cave is very dark though.
Yes, it's very dark.
But this effect is
I mean,
nice.
you can use it as a kind of scenic effect, but yeah, it's more like a cave to have like a sort of serene moment, you know? It's like a landmark kind of situation, less than some gameplay code.
Okay, and finally we have our enemy that we'll also be working on today, which is this guy here.
Also, there's a kind of in the background and not visible yet, but we added our old like tile terrain system. Which will be used for like the usual like grass type sounds when you step on them.
Oh, what's this? I had some breakpoints here. Never mind that. Oh.
Okay. I pushed my changes.
Oh, right.
I actually made some other sound thingies a while ago. I haven't pushed them yet for some reason.
Will there be those type of open world puzzle jump and runs to get to chests again? Oh yes, sir. Oh yes. There will be plenty of those again.
They will not get rid of those, I'm sorry. We may add a few more checkpoints this time, or at least I want to think of a few ways to make checkpoints easier. So they're
as long as I live. I mean, yeah, I try to make the long ones have some checkpoints. We can just add more for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
As long as I live, I will add those.
We have like this true 3D area and like 3D perspective with the real 3D camera and stuff, so it would be a shame if we wouldn't use it.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the big reasons we did 3D, so it's easier to perceive the heights, and would be a ways to not use that for annoying jump puzzles, obviously.
Easier to perceive the heights and harder for the heights to deceive the player.
Greenberg says, so now there's a jump button, right? As opposed to the auto jumping on ledges. It's kind of like a semi-auto jump, if you're accurate, because imagine it's like crosscode, only you need to dash to make a jump. And that's literally how the control works right now. As a result, when I now play crosscode again, I actually always dash down edges. It's really annoying.
Yeah, same.
So, because it already got so much used to it.
Quick.
I think it feels very nice though. I mean, you get used to it rather quickly, I think. And I think it makes it much more stable, because you do not automatically jump, you always have this kind of delay, which is actually pretty long. So it's like almost a second before you automatically jump down, and it gives you enough time to actually react. And if you stop pressing to the direction, you just immediately stop the jump and you're fine. And if you want to jump, you actually need to dash, essentially. So that's the same button. There's like a dash button, and the same button is also used for jumping, because I still don't want to use two separate buttons for that. Like there would be like having another button, and there's actually no buttons left.
No, we still have plenty of buttons.
No, there's no button left, Stefan. Not a single one on gamepad. Not a single one. I cannot even have a button to decently skip messages. You would have to press, unless we change.
You will press Y for that again, I suppose.
So how do you start the quick menu?
Was that on Y? Oh, in my head, I already remapped everything. Yeah.
The thing is, Y is quick menu. All the shoulder buttons are used, because L2 and R2.
R3 and L3 for that.
Yeah, that's the thing I was thinking. That's the only option we have left, but you know, that's already something you don't want to use for a lot of actions. R3 and L3, because L3 is annoying. You might always press this accidentally. At least to me that happens all the time.
I mean, like for skipping dialogue.
Yeah.
It's like easy button.
Yeah, for skipping dialogue, that's fine, I think. But yeah.
But this is why, like, I want to have like this second control screen where people can have the hold action and then map something to the direction button.
Yeah, I'm actually getting warm to this idea in general, and maybe we can also make that the standard. But
it's like one major thing that I always know that people want is a quick button to get to the map, right? And we put that in right away. We said, okay, like the select button is the map button, or the start map button is the map button now.
Yeah.
But yeah, having the option to like quick use an item, for instance. So yeah.
How about button combinations left plus right to menu? What do you mean with left
plus
right? We cannot press left plus right at the same time on a gamepad.
Left plus right.
That's not really possible.
But yeah, you can have like, obviously you can have like the modifier button, you know, you could have that.
Yeah.
For instance, Neo and Neo 2 use the L1 button, which is the guard button, to modify other actions. Because usually when you're guarding, you're okay with changing some stuff. And they use that, for instance, so you can quickly swap between weapons, you can swap between your guardian souls and stuff like that. And it's sort of like I never had the problem where I couldn't switch into a different stance because of it, right? Because like that you hold the left button, but I mean, still.
Yeah. All that being said, I still don't think jumping in ProjectTerra is important enough to have a button just dedicated to that.
No, absolutely, yeah, I
personally.
agree with that.
So I think like the combination of dashing and jumping, because there are pretty similar actions in principle. That's also why the dash actually looks like a jump, because that's kind of like it's more intuitive that way, that you think it's the same thing.
Yeah, I like the having a jump on it. Maybe it makes more sense in a like full 3D game. But like in this scenario that we have, I just love the idea that you can only like dash off corners and then jump. I think a Souls game actually did that too. I don't know, was it Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 2?
Yellow Camel asked a question: can she swim? Well, I don't know. Probably not as much as at least I thought. No, I'm stuck. Game literally unplayable.
Oh my god.
We need to make those dashable, that you can dash through them. It's important.
I told Thomas this literally 2 times. Please change the collision type.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe probably Yuno will not be able to swim freely after all. There might be some kind of compromise where she can swim a little but will respawn rather quickly, maybe. But it might just end up being like in crosscode.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's just too much stuff that kind of like breaks puzzles, for instance, and
is there
like
oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that, or you cannot use real water as kind of using as the edge of a map scenario, and there's also like when we say we add stamina, for instance, we say okay, you can only swim so far with stamina. Then I feel like this mostly makes sense if you can really judge the distance, which isn't the case necessarily in ProjectTerra. Sometimes you wouldn't see this until you maybe aim there and then you kind of gauge it, and it could be frustrating to play with. But yeah, please, Radical Fish Games. Felix, can you send a bug report to @RadicalFishGames? Bugs
What?
@RadicalFishGames.
What?
Please fix the bushes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way, Felix, I think we need to do another crosscode hotfix. There was a massive bug being found.
Oh no, what?
The bug was that Shizuka has 12 SP and not 18 in a PvP fight. Felix, unplayable. Unplayable.
Literally unplayable.
Shizuka just sucks. She never really, I don't know, let's say Shizuka's so powerful she doesn't need 16 SP to beat you or something.
Yeah, she doesn't believe in the 16 SP lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They added that in Crossworlds at some point, but she felt like the change was basically just for noobs.
Yeah.
I mean, she still has 16 SP when you have her as a party member, but whatever.
Okay.
She warmed up to it after fighting.
Wulov actually says, I essentially broke my right click button from playing cross. It doesn't work half the time. How? Hope my new host won't have the same issue with ProjectTerra. Actually, I did try a new control scheme, which is, I think, actually much more widespread than what we did in crosscode. It essentially is you dash with the spacebar, and you actually attack with the left mouse button, and you aim and shoot with the right one. And I think that's actually what a lot of games do, and I don't know why we never did this for crosscode. It feels a little bit stupid in hindsight, because now I just made this and it feels, well, it's very decent. The only thing we have to figure out is what is the actual special attack. We can use more mouse buttons, we can use, I don't know, like the shift key for that. That's also a nice, or like the control key or something. There's a lot of, or like the E or Q key even. Like there's a lot of options for special attacks. They don't need to be...
that's Q.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be as readily available as what you use for, I don't know, ranged and close attacks. So the nice thing now is you don't have this, you have to click close to the player thing, which is what a lot of people know it in crosscode. So
all of this is obviously changeable, right? You can change the buttons as you please.
I mean, obviously, this control scheme is actually very easily changeable in terms of mapping. You can't just say, yeah, hey, I want to dash with the right mouse button. Then, of course, you can just use the right mouse button. We can also now use actually more mouse buttons in general. We can also use like the back and forward button on the side of the mouth. You can map those to actions as well now. So that's there's some more options. So I think the how about left click plus a right click? You mean at the same time for special attacks?
Oh, I would definitely accidentally press that all.
Yeah, I don't think that works in general, because you need to, I don't know. I think it might actually work, but I'm not sure. The big thing is we have chargeable special attacks, and I think that makes it a bit awkward. Yeah, I guess
people are used to have like a ultimate button from many games. So.
Yeah.
And for me that would be Q. Like even in games where it like changes to something else, I always replace it with Q. That's always the ultimate attack.
Yeah, then let's just use Q, I guess. That's perfectly fine for me.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a good idea to use a control scheme that is like more common in general.
That's Q to win, yeah, like the Overwatch standard.
But yeah,
also,
so that's
some change that you made also is you made Juno a little bit floatier.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you even noticed this if you wouldn't say that, but yeah, you know, just the gravity of the game has been slightly reduced. At some point I was actually looking at, damn, how much gravity has this game actually? Turns out, man, it's like 2.5 times as much as real life. Like, this game has insane high gravity.
So it's basically, Juno is basically a Saiyajin, or what do I call it?
Yeah, kind of like that. And then I decided, wait, I mean, to some point that makes sense, because you want the jumps to be more snappy, and I think it's always annoying if you have very floaty jumps. At least personally, I think it's usually not that nice. Like, I always... I mean, I didn't like that in Xenoblade in particular. Like, the first Xenoblade had very floaty jumps, and I never liked that.
Like, you used to the problem there was that you also were kind of forced into it.
Yeah, you couldn't move in the air at all.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of like a thing that made it difficult. But anyway, so, I mean, essentially the jump velocity or the gravity of the game was just the same as it was for crosscode. So crosscode also had this insanely high gravity. The only thing is that kind of like characters were a little bit smaller, and because of that, the high gravity kind of made sense, at least a bit more. But now characters are also taller, and that means like the high gravity... Actually, no, it doesn't make sense. Actually, the opposite is the case. Actually, gravity had to be higher in Terra even, I think. Oh wait, I'm not confused again.
The result is it feels better now.
Yeah, I think it feels a little better. Like it's less strict, so it's a little bit more floaty. I don't know. It's just a minor detail. Yes.
And another small thing that I want that I noticed when I was mapping a bit. Currently, it's a bit. I think there's no example on this map, but you can find it on my map a few times. When you like have those diagonal, like small diagonal pathways that are right next to a wall, you usually can't really walk along them very fluidly.
Where is it? Can you tell me the map?
It's right in the beginning of my cave map, for example.
Which one is it? Cave 2?
Cave 2.1, yeah.
Okay, so where is that exactly? I think that might be another physics issue, which sucks, but yeah.
And right next to the box, try to go on the diagonal path.
Oh damn, yeah, you're right.
And
I mean,
I was wondering if that's a physics issue or if that's just something we
that's a physics issue, yeah.
Should avoid on. Okay.
I mean, what exactly is the issue?
What is the problem? What is the issue? That you're walking slower? That is intended.
No, that's not intended. Like I was walking very much slower, but I cannot reproduce it anymore. I mean, where did it happen for you, Hannah?
Right where you are. It's on this area, right? Where the box is. Right next to the box, to the right.
Yeah. To the
go
right
on top
here.
Of the box and then go to the
oh,
right.
okay, I see it here.
Right, not left.
Oh, yeah, you're stuck. Damn it. Oh, that is a physics thing. That is because you have at the same time trying not to go below the edge, and at the same time you have to do it because you want to get past that. That's just too narrow, Hannah. That doesn't work.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of like, that's not really a physics bug. That's more like expected behavior. If you do that, it's fine again. You see?
Okay.
So just don't make it too narrow, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's something I just want to know if we should just keep.
But yeah, that sometimes it's still acting a bit weird on diagonals, which kind of sucks. But yeah.
I would say if it's important for gameplay purposes.
Here we have it again. Yeah.
Make sure that it's not too narrow.
Yeah.
Okay, I can totally see that. I'm already kind of expected that we should just make it a bit wider and only use the narrow things for areas you can't reach for visual purposes. I like DK Adric saying another opportunity to blame Hannah for something.
Yes.
And like this already, like this pathway up that Felix just showed is already like new players will have a hard time understanding this. This whole puzzle section is a little bit hard to understand.
I mean, this is like you're kind of like really pushing it. Like, okay, we have the 3D and it makes easier things to understand, but this is really like
this one is hard.
Jumping back up is always like, come on.
I know, but it's like this was less for like a beginner area, but more like for me for like some testing how things could work and stuff.
Don't in that case.
This is one of those examples where I would just lower this because this just obstructs the view so much. Let me just do this for a moment. I want to see if that works. You have the nice fill button here.
You're just way too lenient with those players. Back in my days,
it's a new game.
Yeah, I know.
I
can see that.
New beginning.
An Animal Crossing.
You kind of have to definitely like when we've introduced the first cave, they have to kind of teach players.
I totally agree.
AFK.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Okay. Also, try not to do these kind of things here where you have. Okay, I guess that works, but you know there don't have to be so many details here on those kind of. Damn, why does this look weird?
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. But it's too low now. Or rather, the other thing is too high. That's why it looks weird. You always need to have like 2 height layers between those.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah. Yeah, this for instance is already a bit easier to perceive. Yeah, the thing is like these kind of things were essentially impossible to do in CrossGo because it would like just look weird, so we would never do these kind of rock shapes. In Terra we can now do those because we have this kind of back walls and it makes it kind of like make sense that you can understand, but it's still like the downside is it often doesn't look that great. So I still would be careful not to have too many ceiling rocks like this, which are not very like very narrow in the Y dimension.
And also, Felix, this path on the right on the top left of the water, that also wouldn't work in crosscut at all because you don't have the camera rotating to show you that there's.
Oh,
a
you
path.
added enemies already. Damn. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see. Let's
just
go.
for a test because I kind of intended for that to have a small battle area before you can proceed up the path there. Damn it! Now the music is too relaxed for the.
Yes, it's
Give me a
perfect.
second. Give me a second. No, it's too late.
It's also one of these examples where I would just lower the back wall so you have less shadow because you don't need this. There's no reason to have this high shadow here, and it kind of like obstructs the whole view. So essentially just.
Yeah, it's true. It should definitely be lower.
All right, let's stop blaming Hannah.
Let's say. Hey, it's not really. I don't see this as blame. It's like this
No,
was
this is
like
feedback.
this is feedback, and this map was intended to like test how far we can go with this engine, what works, what doesn't.
Sure.
I didn't intend this to be like the super beginner friendly map for the new players. It's like
Yeah, here we go.
Think about the nukes.
this is an intended turn of events for me.
Okay.
I'm basically.
So here,
going
essentially like this, Anna. Just lower this wall here, and you can make it even one lower. I think this is okay if it's like just 2 tiles high.
You don't like have these.
Oh, whoops.
You don't shoot any balls there.
Yeah. I made a mistake here. Pretty stupid mistake. Whoops.
See?
Uh-oh.
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
Felix,
I failed.
Felix ruined everything.
Uh-oh.
See, Felix?
I ruined
Control Z,
everything.
Control Z, Control Z.
I can't control the everything now. This is like
I
that.
mean, you don't need to push your changes, Felix. I know the things I need to do, and
Okay, anyway.
Radical Capybara Games clip brought me here. Hell yeah.
will there be some math puzzles, Felix?
Who asked this?
A traveling saleswoman. Is this a certain person again?
Yes, a certain person who
Oh,
currently
no.
has this idea. Like she figured out that you get $1 million if you solve the traveling salesman. So now she's trying to figure out how to solve this problem, you know? The one, this one problem that's essentially, if you solve it, you essentially prove that MP is equal MP or something like this big theoretical question in computer science. She says, but you get $1 million, so maybe she can solve that. Right?
Before taxes, by the way.
Yes,
For
yes.
taxes?
Before taxes, obviously, you have to pay taxes.
Nothing
But
screams.
after Florida.
Nothing screams society more than current society more than before taxes.
Taxes. Theft. Taxes are theft, so okay.
Yeah, Felix. Take your libertarianism and take it and shove it somewhere.
Where? Describe it in words.
I don't know where to
some
put
place.
it. Like the Connor mode of Detroit. Opala. I have to say the hammer is already a lot of fun to fight with.
Yeah, definitely. I also like it.
Okay.
By the way, I once had a pretty, not just once, a few times, had a pretty funny bug where
Everybody thinks this one is an X, damn it.
yeah,
It's
lol
a
X,
hammer.
Felix.
Yeah.
Lol X.
It's a hammer.
There was this. Sometimes it's this fun bug is that when an enemy dies, I mean it blinks red, right?
Yeah.
But I had it a few times that instead of the enemy blinking red, some random box was blinking red. And
Oh shit,
I mean,
that's
I
a
gotta
big
see.
problem.
yeah, I gotta see if I can reproduce it at some point, but it was it happened.
Oh,
Like
shit.
something was like not released correctly.
Yeah. something like that. But
Probably
I
one
couldn't-
of
I
the
couldn't
boxes that showed up in a siding, right?
I don't know. I think it was actually just the test box at the very beginning.
This one.
Yeah, the one right at the entrance that I used
Oh,
to
boy.
test like this one bug with
By the way, yesterday I had a moment where I was like, Hannah,
Oh, you mean with the comments
with
or the
the
notes?
with the node entity.
Yeah. I saw that commit. I was like, oh, whoops.
I was on stream
Hmm.
and we were all like, Hannah, Dingleberg meme.
But why are no effects at the wrong target? This really sucks, damn it.
I mean, if you can reproduce it, then
Yeah, I will tell you if I can reproduce
let
it.
Felix work on the enemy.
Yeah,
first
I
work
will
on
do that
something
now.
actually
Right,
important.
yes. Enough
like-
demonstrations.
Enough talk, have at thee.
I hate these kind of bugs though. Those that
I
only
like the
happen
dev jump.
sometimes.
I hope it makes it to the final cut. Yeah,
No.
totally. Just like it.
Don't hold your breath.
The fart jetpack.
Power invested to me by these giant beams.
Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just make the hedgehog walk to the player if it's too far away.
Mm-hmm. I'm eating, so I'm not talking about games. Please, someone else.
I have talked. Did I play some games recently? I don't think I actually finished it.
I have something. I installed a height changing desk today,
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
and it was heavy as fuck. It was so heavy, man. I took the whole day for this.
Well, I mean, that's to be expected these days. Furniture stuff.
But it's amazing. You have like positions. I just press one button, it goes to my preferred position. Press another button,
Oh.
it goes to the standing position.
That's very, very responsive of you.
Well, I mean, like it was
Very
relatively cheap, I think, for like the gain I get from it, like the standing desk, and I don't have to manually change it. Like it motivates you to quickly change it and then just stand or.
Hmm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it took. It's like. Yeah, I'm a coder, right? So lifting heavy things is definitely not my thing.
Hmm.
I was sweating so much.
Oh well. I mean, do you even lift? Yes, my furniture once in my life. Once
Are you
every few
considering
years.
co-op mode for this? No, this is going to be a single player game again.
Hmm.
Yeah, we will say this from the very beginning, so people stop asking.
People will still be asking. Like,
Yeah, it's true. But in
no.
Crossbow, we were very like, yeah, maybe for offline for years until finally we put our foot down and said no. No.
What?
Single player experience.
Single player
No.
experience.
How's
Maybe
the
some
game
gacha, but
going? I love how it's looking so far. To be honest, I think progress is pretty good on the like code side. Like being able to port lots of things from crosscode helps a lot, and we made things much
Sure.
cleaner. We added new editors, like the one Felix is in right now.
Yeah.
Literally a game changer.
So look what I just did. I essentially just added a small hook to the animation because I actually want to show like an animation, an effect before the enemy is attacking. Actually, I thought I wanted to make it walk toward the player. I will do this later. I will now do a telegraph effect for the attack, a better one. So essentially just some...
Terra to the VU. Sure,
this will totally happen.
maybe, possibly. Unless...
Unless ice.
Yeah, sorry, Felix, go on.
No, I just already talked what I wanted to say. So now is the
mean,
big question,
yeah.
how do we do the effects?
The right way.
I'm already want to make a head check Jason effect, but I'm not supposed to do that. So I will just make a new folder.
Proto.
And I call this one enemies because the effect I'm not doing is very enemy specific, but I will not call it head check. I would call it attack telegraph or something like that. Or telegraph. Maybe just telegraph. Or is there a better way?
Plural telegraphs.
Telegraphs.
Telegraphs. Oh no, someone already made a clip. Capybara biome confirmed.
Oh no.
And oh no, someone actually recognized the little person-shaped wall formation that I made.
Oh.
Nani?
No, I'm gonna post it in Discord real quick. Wait, up.
Well, I'm eating a cheeseburger. I mean, this cheeseburger is amazing. What the heck?
Here, look. Not yet. Not yet.
Away tomato.
Okay. Posted it in Discord.
Oh my gosh. No.
What is the Switch Pro?
Oh gosh.
Was only half intentional. Going to devour you, yep. Right, Felix, we finally need to add the Shockcat pop emote to the Discord server.
Okay.
Come on, Felix. It's important. I will PM you after the stream.
Sorry.
Maybe. Also, I looked up something, and I think I actually didn't play much interesting stuff last week. However, I did, as a very money-saving person, I did finally watch Shang-Chi on Disney Plus for free, because it's for free. It's free now on Disney Plus, if you have Disney Plus. Otherwise, it's not free. And it's a good movie. So Felix,
Yep.
you're still very behind the MCU things, right?
Yeah, entirely.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't matter. If you want to watch any MCU movie, definitely watch Shang-Chi, because it doesn't really matter if you haven't watched that many before. And I mean, you have watched Iron Man 3, right?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, it has some connection to Iron Man 3.
Thanks for the
It's
spoiler, Anna.
Hmm?
Thanks for the spoiler.
It's not a spoiler, really. It's very vague. It has a very... Oh no, one MCU movie has connections to another MCU movie. Who would have guessed?
Yes, but I always want to be surprised by everything.
Yeah, you will be surprised anyway, because anyway, it's very... You can definitely watch it without knowing that much about the MCU feeling.
You is just like mood.
And it's definitely worth the watch, because the battles are nice, and it has some really nice grounded kung fu battles, and also some nice more superpowered battles. But the superpowered battles are really interesting in how the powers are used in combination with the kung fu martial arts stuff. And I even think that, man, that's some stuff that could almost be inspiring for some enemy designs and stuff like that. It's really nice.
Okay.
And yes, that's stuff that you sometimes think about when you're either playing games or watching cool action scenes in movies. Oh man, this would be cool inspiration for enemy design, like enemy behavior design and stuff.
Yeah,
we could use proxies to do this and this, and the enemies could do this and stuff then, and stuff like that. And also, so many times while I was watching this movie, I was thinking like, oh look, it's basically the last Airbender live action movie if it wasn't shit.
Oh yes.
Because you see elemental powers and martial arts combination and stuff. Anyway, it's a good movie. It's definitely one of my MCU favorites at this point. Really good. And Flora, I started watching Agent Carter now
Oh, nice.
because I realized, beziehungsweise. How do you say beziehungsweise in English? It's such an important thing in German language. But how you
Or
say it in
rather.
English? Or rather,
Yeah.
or rather,
Rather.
I basically finished the second to last Ages of Shield season, and then I realized, the last Ages of Shield season apparently builds up on some Agent Carter stuff. So I was like, okay, before I watch that last one, I'm gonna watch Agent Carter first because it's a good series and also like it's not that long anyway. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. And I also watch a lot of other cool stuff, but it's not anime time yet. God damn it! Unless
Thank the gods.
we watched Odd Taxi together, and that's
Oh yeah,
anime, but also a certain special type of anime in a way.
it's a
that
very
doesn't really
good
feel
one.
that much like doesn't feel that much like anime.
That's true.
So Stefan,
Wait,
even if you
Dad.
don't watch much anime, Odd Taxi is definitely a series that's really, really good.
Maybe
So,
after the prototype is done, I
Yep,
will have time
okay.
for doing
Yeah, sure.
anything other than playing Genshin or work.
Playing Genshin. Playing Genshin.
so guys, look at this. Now we have like some telegraph effect. Wing, wing, wing.
Yeah, I like it. Very,
Very good.
Horizon Zero Dawn inspired.
Yeah.
I really like the effect because it gives it some personality because it like concentrates on the eyes, not the face.
Yeah. I want to
Wonder
do
why
some.
that
I
is.
want to do some stuff like
Yeah.
actually a red line following the eyes and all this kind of stuff. But for that, I need to implement a new kind of effect.
I know what you mean. I know.
We have some feedback by Susie Young 9184. Can you try making the color of the effect a bit darker? Question mark.
Darker.
Darker.
I
As in
could,
less
but
light.
I mean, I want to have
this
this
is just
bright.
literally just an effect done in.
Okay,
it
so
isn't
here.
necessarily the finished effect.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely just like a.
Though I
work in
really want to
progress.
have the effect strong because that's the whole point. It should
Yeah,
be
yeah.
easy
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
recognize, right? So, but yeah.
I like that too. Like the there's a good telegraph. I agree.
Yeah. Actually, I
That's
want to.
something that was kind of missing in Crosscodes, where at least we did it with later enemies more so.
Yeah.
because
Later
we had
enemies
some-
had more stronger telegraphs, but yeah, the first one.
Maybe I have one thing. Maybe use a second color somewhere, just to basically make sure that it works on any background and stuff.
You will not have these kind of red colors as a background.
Okay.
Will not happen because this is
okay,
eye
now that you-
cancer. This is instant
Now that
eye
you made
cancer.
it brighter, there's also a bit more white
Yeah.
in there. So that's basically what I meant
This
already.
is not
Yeah.
necessarily a finished thing,
Yeah, obviously not.
but it is just color for testing, and it definitely works. It works perfectly. Look at how awesome that looks.
Honestly, this is already pretty good, I think. I mean, we can tweak
Yeah,
these
that's-
things a lot, but we also need at some point say, yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah, like I think we had this talk, right, Felix, where we were like, it would be cool if enemies had this kind of swing effect that we knew from Horizon.
Wing swim. Like in Arknights.
Okay, so
I loved it in Horizon. Like you always knew the enemy was now attacking you because they had this effect on them. It was like it read very well in a game that otherwise has a camera very close to the player.
yeah,
And I remember the game only got hectic for me once when I stumbled upon a jungle with 2 stalkers in it, and both of them saw me at the same time. Now they didn't like that. Oh boy. Oh boy. And that got pretty hectic because I had 2 extremely fast enemies. And I had not set up any traps. I didn't see them. Like they were so well hidden in that stupid jungle. I walk in, I'm like, oh man, this looks pretty. And then get fucking attacked by this invisible enemy. Half my HP, and I'm now running.
Why are you running?
I had not set up any traps against the stalker on hard difficulty.
Okay, anyway, what I'm doing now is actually something... He's in strong. This is good. Look, so now I have like this very strong effect, but I actually don't want to have it like this, but rather I want to have it over the target. And now you actually have, maybe not that bright. So you actually have like the enemy kind of like flashing shortly, and I want to see how that looks.
Yeah.
So let's see. Ooh, look at this.
And the cool thing is it flashes at that point. It starts at that point.
Maybe a bit smaller. I think it's a bit too wide, the range. Hey, this is nice because I think this again helps to so you see which enemy is actually attacking.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I will make it larger so the whole enemy is included.
Remembering on a podcast talking about the crosscut engine being limited in terms of audio output. Yeah, and the new engine will suffer the same problem. Not as much, no. The engine not a major up.
I don't know, like the limits we had in Crosscode was a little bit concerning the web audio implementation, which had some issues around the time when we released version 1.0. But I think, or rather I hope, those issues probably have improved with newer versions.
That's what I just said.
Okay. So I thought you, okay, sorry, I thought you were talking
I just said that, yeah, we are now able to do more stuff. Or like work past these issues. Like there were also stuff in Crosscode, if I remember like it depends on which podcast that was. But generally that should be a thing for Flora to talk about because she's writing the new sound stuff. If you want to talk about it.
Sorry, I didn't really pay attention. I was... What's the question?
There was no question directly about like how something works. Just wanted to make clear that you are the one implementing this, and you are our sound lady, so makes sense.
Yeah, so we still use web audio, so it's the same API we use. I think we just have more like stuff on top. Which is a bit more advanced, and will be more advanced in the future too. And the whole editor is nicer too, so it's easier to work on sounds in the editor.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, you can now actually test sounds directly in the engine. Yeah. Point. Oh, it looks good. What the fuck? Yes. I just wanna perfect guard this attack, you know?
Yeah, we have to add, we have to add blocking. Damn, I forgot about guarding.
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't necessarily need to be in it.
By the way, I'm currently making step sounds for different terrain.
Oh,
nice.
Damn. Okay. We might not be able to do this for the prototype. I don't know. I have to work on water planes this week.
Oh, I thought we basically had it.
It is there, but it needs code in the actor. Like something we need to talk about first. How we change this actor effect thing, because we don't need to use effects anymore. We can now use the terrain for sounds. So
we can play different effects depending on the terrain, but.
Yes,
we probably should.
No, I mean,
we should separate this from the dust effects or something like that.
Yeah, like the sounds that are played should now be played through the terrain. You define them in the terrain editor.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I can work on other things that we need for the prototype.
Also, something very cool, chat. I don't know if you noticed that. You probably don't notice it in the stream that much, but the HP bars of the enemies, they get a little bit smaller, right, when the enemies are to the north. But it doesn't look shit, which I like a lot.
Yeah, like there's a very small perspective distortion. If you look very close, you see how the HP bar gets larger as the enemy comes closer. I see it best if you know. So you might notice, like, it's a little bit taller now because it scales with the character. So if you don't do this, you actually notice this when a character is moving around, that like the bar feels a little bit detached. So the interface is now actually scaled to perfectly match the scaling of the actual enemy, or the word point that is focused, essentially.
Dude, I like this effect.
Yeah, I like this.
Reads so well.
It's also nice because it's actually, there's a Z order is higher, so you see that even if the enemy is behind something, that helps a lot to kind of like see those attacks coming even if the enemy is covered. Like for
I
instance
can
here.
already see, like, when you have like some animal sounds to that too, and
Yeah.
that will look very decent.
Okay. Alright, so we did that. Let's do some
Does ProjectTerra run fully using Canvas 2D or mass matching? No, it actually is a WebGL.
it's WebGL now.
We
It's
still use Canvas 2D for stuff, but
Mostly debugging things like
debugging and like the font rendering.
yeah, the foldering still uses it, right? But yeah, it's definitely WebGL. Actually, something I noticed recently, I was actually really shocked about this, but when I tried the game on my ThinkPad notebook, it was running as bad as on my Microsoft Surface thing. And like, it was really slow, like 20-30 FPS, and the reason was because it didn't use the actual GPU on the laptop. It was using the integrated GPU on the Intel CPU. And this kind of sucks because apparently, because Node WebKit is a browser, it assumes, oh, you don't need the GPU, just use the integrated hardware.
No, you can. This is the toggle, I'm pretty sure.
You can configure your machine to change that, but you have to do this manually.
No, I mean, we can configure NV WebKit to use the dedicated GPU.
You think so? I mean, I did some Googling and I just found somebody essentially modifying the exit to do that, and I didn't find any configuration value, but maybe I missed something. If we can do that, we definitely should do that, because I can see that people who have 2 GPUs will probably be confused about this.
Something we can also do for this is notify people about this when we see them running low frame rates. I asked them. We can notify them about. You seem to be running slow. Make sure to have the game.
Yeah, that's a bit less optimal. I don't know. Maybe there's some ways to actually query these kind of things.
Back when I had my laptop still in major usage, AAA games didn't do that. They just assumed whatever the system thinks is the best to use should be using this. I think even in the beginning of CrossCode, I needed to explicitly tell Chrome exe and Node WebKit to run the application, like the Chrome stuff, to use that GPU, because Chrome didn't, for some reason, had hardware acceleration correctly implemented at that point.
Grover said, please support modding so I can add this. Oh my god, the Nokia hammer. Oh my gosh. Actually, this is like a lot more feasible now with this engine.
Yeah, Kovac, modding is definitely a thing we pay more attention to.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things where we were okay, we just inline that into code.
Yeah.
It's now in data assets, for instance, so you can easily mod this content. There's actual documentation starting. I try to use that more and more now, where it takes some time and actually add comments to properties and stuff, because I know modders will probably be happy about this.
Yeah. August Devs also mentions the sound effect combined with the visuals feels so good by just looking at them. Probably talking about the hammer, I think. And I again have to say that the sweep sounds actually already works really, really well. Like, it's just this is just the sword sweep, just with a lower speed, and really fits really well, I think.
I have to say, like, I feel it sounds a little bit too swordishy. Not as if you're hunking a big chunk of like stone or something like through the air.
Do you use the metal part of this sweep sound as well?
I use both, yes, I use both. Both of them are slower. But yeah,
because I guess if you take away the metal, it could work too.
Yeah, but I think you need something alternatively. But I thought
that
actually...
might also be just something that makes it feel more like a big chunk of stone or metal that you... It has like a big face in the front that pushes the air to the side, right? It would make a kind of different sound than the swing, I guess.
Yeah.
But the speed of it,
August Steph is talking about like the step in the combat sounds, yeah. Yeah, the step sounds already are very well. I mean, they're not adapted to the terrain, but they're already...
The non-terrain type step sounds.
Okay, so... Yellow Camel asks, Laxons, are you one of those people that never closes browser tabs? I always close browser tabs, but I never close the editor tabs. The difference is because I don't save my browser tabs. When I close my browsers, all my tabs are gone. But that's not the case for the editor, and that's why I never close my editor tabs.
I guess I add a Felix option to always close.
No, please don't. Actually, it's great that you keep them. I love this. This is unlike browser stuff. In browser, I'm actually fine with losing my tabs. But here in the game, it's like it's great, especially if I have a bug and I have to restart the editor.
Yeah, like I have my standard stuff on always. Like the tile sets are always there for me. And the cool thing is you can also like move stuff, the things. So if you like me and you like to organize your stuff, like I do all the stuff that's always open to the left, and then open maps and stuff. Really like it.
At one point I want to implement a how is it in Chrome? Control O hotkey to just search any file. Control O, you type in and you get any asset with that name matching, and you can just click on it. Because I'm 100% used to use that, because that's what you use in the Chrome debugger. And also I configured my WebStorm to use this hotkey. So we can make this configurable somehow, but I want to have like the Control O option. Because then this feels very natural to me to just Control O and just type in the file I need and just open it.
The best way that would also be if you can type something and then you can use the direction keys to like go through the list.
Yeah, especially that.
Just press enter and then you open that file. Yeah, I use it in like WebStorm all the time.
Right. There was also a question actually by Lanelot. Did you consider adding 3D grass with simple animations? I think it would add a lot to the atmosphere. We do have animations already. It's just very subtle right now. But we can demonstrate this, I think. At least in Weltmeister. I'm not sure how to make this in the game, but let's say we have south climate and weather is storm. Oh, yeah, okay, those trees are not configured yet, but this here you see it. Essentially, we do have some kind of animation already, but we do not have a lot of grass props. We will probably add some of those 2, I'm not sure if we will have like detailed grass meshes everywhere. It's something we might do in some way, but we can
Based on the
definitely have
terrain.
more props.
Based on the terrain.
Based on the terrain, obviously, yeah.
It can help, like the thing like other games can do this is they have access to like geometry shaders and tessellation shaders, which we don't. So we have
Yeah.
to deal with billboards, and there, even though we can show a lot of them without problems, there is a limit where it starts getting slow. Yeah, I don't think it will be that important. Like if we have really like, if you can just have an entity, and in that entity you spawn lots of them, and obviously that entity should also make sure that it doesn't spawn on maybe terrain that you don't want to spawn stuff on, right?
Yeah.
Again, a new thing in the terrain where you can probably say something like, don't spawn grass on, cannot spawn props on, to make sure that you don't have to manually change things when you do this. Good thing my browser puts the tab to sleep. Actually, also like I'm also like that. But I always close all the tabs before closing Firefox. I have some open at all times, like my time tracking for the company, the naming document for Terra, because I constantly have naming ideas. And what else? And I think the script, yeah, the script was also there, and the timetable, our like work timetable. It's always there. Where I didn't put in anything for the last weeks. Why didn't nobody tell me? Oh my god.
Okay, I'm currently adding like something where the enemy is walking towards the player, if too far away. Let's see if that works, but I think like the target reachable condition is actually not working yet, so I need to fix that.
Will combat rank be a thing again for determining loot and such?
Probably not, at least not the same way as it is with crosscode. Something about how enemies will respawn and everything will change in this game.
But there will probably be something that kind of promotes going in for sure, like some system that like makes farming easier over time when you fight a lot. Why not? Like it works good for like definitely something that I still feel like some games could have as kind of a bonus when you put in the work. You fight a lot and you're getting like rewarded for it by some form of multiplier. Maybe it could be even a little bit more permanent thing. It goes beyond your combat cooldown.
I mean, potentially. I mean, I'm often thinking of the very simple "the world ends with you" approach of just. I mean, the world ends with you had two approaches actually. I mean, you could have combat chains that gave you, I think, better loot multipliers, or you could reduce your level, which reduced your HP. Which also gave you some sort of and you had difficulty settings, like easy, hard, and
yeah. But I personally don't like that.
Yeah. I know. It just came to me that it actually had three options for that kind of stuff.
I'm always like difficulty. Like I do like it when a game kind of start, like you play through it, and then you give the player a new way to play the game and go on your own journeys. Right? I like that in Neo, where you literally are allowed to get a new rarity of items and new items that you can like craft gear with, that gives you even more specialized modifiers, so you have more of a incentive to grind, and also like the levels of enemies would get higher and everything would kind of go up step by step, and then it became less about being very skilled at the combat, and it would literally become a Diablo game where you kind of were like, oh, how do I best build my character to like do lots of damage or like be invincible or whatever.
By the way, Kovapch, yes, this is kind of like the eye effect, only more like longer. So you actually have like a long trail, red trail along the eye, these kind of things. They're pretty common, so
classic.
Nothing original about them, but they're pretty effective.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't need to be original to be good.
Yeah.
It needs to work. That's the thing.
It's our strategy for a long time already.
That's true.
So, okay, I actually now implemented like the enemy going away. Let's see if that works. Oh yeah, I actually have to restart because like the step doesn't exist.
I love how anime you are going with this. I mean, many JRPG inspired or real JRPGs look very quote-unquote anime with what they're doing.
Oh yeah, look, he's coming closer.
Yeah.
Closer. So you're approaching me. Well, how was it?
So you're approaching me. So you're approaching me.
Like the super fluid walk animation. Jeebus. I think we need to remove the FPS a little bit from that one still.
That looks uncanny.
It's almost like a moonwalk.
It's true.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 when he walks backward, like moonwalking.
That's no moonwalking though. It's pretty.
It's normal
it's
walking.
still it's pretty.
It's the first enemies. There's still some stuff that still needs some things that I would like to see.
I think could be a bit faster in general when walking though. Move closer, make speed higher. Let's see. Isn't that amazing that this just automatically updates? I just don't even need to reload the game. It's just automatically faster. Just still can't believe how easy that was to implement, to like how much this actually makes a difference.
That's why we always need to pester each other with the same requests.
Actually, I think I like this animation. It's just that for whatever reason the head is turning. Let's fix this.
By the way, I have this. I'm not sure if it's already implemented, but Stefan, where's the entity brush? Where's the entity brush? Wouldn't it be awesome if the entity brush also randomly turned the flip X variable on? Because then you had like twice the randomized.
But it only is for props. You can still use the entity brush for every other entity. How should I know that this entity has a flip property?
That is true. I mean, you could check it, right? Couldn't you check it?
You can also just add the flip version.
I mean, yeah, but that's more. Really? Wait, you can?
If not, then that's
right. The brush. Right, it saves so many things. Stefan, that's amazing. How did you think of this magic?
I don't know. I know Felix pretty well. I know he thinks about all the possibilities.
What did I do?
No, it was just a question about entity brush.
Okay. Okay, I actually reduced like that he only has 8 directions now, not 16. Because if we do, like there's like almost a golden rule, like if you do 16 directions, then every part needs to have a 16 graphics. You cannot have like the head just 8 directions and the character having 16 directions, because this results in weird graphics flipping back and forth. So we would have to need 16 rotations for the head too if you want to go full 16. But I think 8 works pretty well for an enemy like this, actually.
Yeah, I think it's totally fine. Like it is like crossbow, just like,
it's even more. Crossbow only had 6 rotations for most enemies.
Yeah, but like one step up basically.
Yeah.
From that, and that is totally fine by me. Like I was actually going with like, are we going 6 probably again?
Yeah, I think it's like it makes more sense to do 8 directions because what was the reason? I don't know. Actually, we could still do 6 directions, like for very simple enemies at least.
I mean, there would probably also be like enemies that only that maybe are stationary, and then they are easier to create because they're stationary, or like bosses that only look into one direction. Surely that will happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
By the way, currently what's still missing is that when you actually hit enemies, I want to have it like shake or at least budge a little bit in the hit direction or something like that, and that is still missing. So I still want to add that, and I think that probably will make it look much better when you actually hit things. It will make it less stationary.
Also still missing for it. You still don't have a turret enemy. It's very important.
Yeah, turret enemies are very easy.
I mean, it's legit very important because they're nice to use.
Okay, get closer. Okay, I will also...
Anyway, everyone, I think I'll hit the hay for today. I'm pretty tired.
Alright.
Why? What did the hay do to you? What?
Why do you hit the hay? What did it do to you?
I don't know, it's like how I regulate stress.
Ah, okay.
Alright, then.
Hay usually doesn't speak back like certain poultry named.
I'm very grateful that you don't hit me. That's very nice of you.
No, I would never hit on you.
Okay, that hurts me a bit, but it's okay.
Got him. Anyway, please enjoy the show, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Working on enemies, very nice effect already.
I actually just I'm gonna render out some sounds, and you can go, but it would be nice if you can still listen to it. Okay. Nice.
By the way, I think. Wait. Oh, wait.
What? Can we listen to it? Sorry, I didn't listen. What?
I wanted to show you sounds I made. I had a new try at hit sounds.
Oh.
I just left us. I guess you didn't really understand it that way.
Did you push it already, or actually I fetched your stuff and I didn't rebase yet. I'm not sure if I want me to show the new stuff on stream.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. But for now, I'm just gonna export a simple wave I post in the Discord, and you can listen to it and say, okay, that's total trash, or okay, that's fine. You can work on it more.
Okay.
Before I spend hours on it.
Yeah.
I hope it's as good as the meat beating sounds from the very first crossbow versions.
The meat beating sounds what?
You know, the first hit sounds. That
yeah, those were extremely loud. I remember those. Yeah.
Those were very like punching meat.
I don't think were they like this. I don't think so, right?
I think that's pretty. Whatever. Maybe I remember them wrong.
Punching face doesn't work though. We already starting, Hannah. I'm copying actions from other enemies and I'm not deleting them. It's starting again. It will never stop.
Didn't you plan to do template enemies or something? I mean, it
Yeah.
is a template enemy, right?
Maybe. I will probably do a proper template enemy after I'm done with that
I mean, it's not that bad to copying actions. I mean, I also did that all the time. It's just a problem when we have like so many old things with unfitting names in the other enemies.
That's true.
And when the enemies are called mammal for no reason. Nice.
Yay, the hedgehog now has the same step sounds like you know. I'm sure that won't be annoying.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's not confusing at all.
Not confusing at all. Yeah, we need
Okay,
to...
I posted it in the audio channel.
Hit for short demo. Oh. I think it sounds a lot better already, I think.
Nice.
I like.
Okay.
I'm still missing this punching sound though. I'm not sure, like the one we had in we saw in Genshin Impact, for instance. We heard there.
There are actually several punch sounds in there.
Okay, there seem to be more well hidden then because I don't really recognize them. Like it feels. I don't know. It's hard to describe. But anyway, there's this sound a lot better, I think. So I like the direction, I think.
Nice.
Sounds less like door closing, so that's already,
Yes.
That's already something.
For some reason. Okay. Maybe can just add a little punch sound to it.
I think like what was this generic punch sound that we had? Like it had, I think it had more like of a sharper beginning, maybe. Yes. Like this one still sounds more like a slice, which is good for a knife, but I mean that's like this generic punch sound didn't really sound like a slice. It really sounded like you were just punching something and they were just playing this for like any kind of hit sound, and that kind of like made it like the generic hit sound. That's why this sounds more like you're actually slicing something. Which would make it, for instance, less fitting if I would play this when the hedgehog is tackling you, for instance.
Yeah, I can try to enhance the transient.
Well, here you have a punch, says Kovapsh. Yeah, this is like a very generic punch sound. But kinda like this. I think it wasn't as comedic in Oh. That is a nice sound for for the hedgehog. At least as a placeholder. I would like that.
I think I can make something like that.
Yeah.
Bye, Yui.
Oh, yeah, bye. Okay, so let's make the enemy run to you when you're too far away. But now I can probably not test it here on this map because this map is too small. Let's just put one on one of the larger maps. Let me just go to a test map. Test. Tash. The green-brown. Test map. Here we go. Here's an enemy. Why does this not work? Oh no. What's... What? Oh, I wasn't wrong. Never mind. Okay. Here we go. Enemy. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah, navigation isn't working yet, as you may notice. Yeah, this is already feeling so nice. Fighting enemy in a proper environment looks so much cooler. Again.
Oh, that's true, yes. Oh, that's a very far dash.
Yeah, I mean, I probably can tweak this. For first enemy, it shouldn't be that long. And let's say it's at low most, like, I don't know, half a second. Yeah, that looks better. Working player asks, do you guys use open source software for making sound effects? Do you, Flora?
Do I use open source?
Yeah.
No, I use FL Studio.
Yeah.
I mean, I use some free VSTs. I try to use a lot of free VSTs. And I use probably quite a few free sample libraries. The one Iron recommended, the Zomnus ones, they are really nice. There are a lot of different sounds in there. Not in each category. There's only like 4 or so, but there a lot of them are really usable.
Oh no! It fell into the water. Now it's stuck there forever. Or, no, it actually cannot jump. Or, it actually, oh. Oh, it can actually jump. Can it? Yeah, a little bit. Kinda. Yeah, it can. It can jump. Okay, never mind. Oh damn, it has a huge idle time. Yeah, this is always bad. Damn, why do I always make this? Do this. I mean, okay. That's the wrong enemy. Damn it. Close it. Close this too. Okay. Again. Not so much idle time. Move closer. Not so much time. And a lot of the steps that you made actually don't need to be improved, and that we use better wipes for all the arguments. We have wipe time, we have wipe distance and all this. For instance, now move to.
Yeah, okay, but those move to steps I think are implemented before we had wipe time.
Like not saying you missed that. It's just that those haven't been available back then.
Hashtag blame Hannah again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
it's not really your fault.
It's
still something you could help with. Now that we have them, like here, for instance, here this is wipe time. This is wipe dist.
I mean, you're already changing it right now, no?
Yeah,
I'm just gonna wait until you pushed. I'm just gonna wait until you push something that I can still go over.
You better
stuff
do this
again.
later, yes. There was also an issue with the effect stats, which I need to fix.
No, I really fell in love with one of my favorite new genre of YouTube video, which is urban planning videos that also often double as bashing American videos.
I saw those, a lot of them actually. Damn, like you sometimes really think, damn, why did this happen?
I mean, it's very easy to explain why this happened because of car lobbyism. Car lobbyism, oil lobbyism, that kind of stuff. And then you have like entire urban planning centered around how do we have cars on the road, as many as possible. And then you have shitty city design. And super inefficient city design that's also super expensive. I mean, there's like this video here that literally is titled "Why America is Terribly Designed." Like, a very broad statement, but I instantly knew what it was about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I made this experience a little bit when we visited United States 2019 in San Francisco. Like, it was so weird to be there without a car. Like, it's like the city's not made for that. No, not in Houston. We were in Austin, Texas.
Austin, okay, no, because Houston is often used.
It's often used
as one of the big negative examples here because how badly. No, but Austin I hear is a bit better, maybe, I don't know.
Austin was also kind of weird at times, and honestly, we just got it. I mean, we had to take the bus to get to places, obviously. And taking the bus always feels like you're not an average citizens when you do that. Like, it's like lower class transport. If you want to be proper class, you need to have a car or something. That's how it is.
And also, I mean, San Francisco is like one of the better cities, right? Because it has like the big traditional.
Do you mean like the cable cars or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's only in the city center. Once you're there, it's fine. But if you are kind of like in the suburbs, in like the infinite suburbs around, then you kind of like, I don't know, like this is so weird to be just walking around in those areas. You always need a car.
Yeah, and I mean the suburbs are just such a terrible part of city design because of how car dependent it is, and also, oh no, let me guess, behold, in this, intersections. But I mean,
wow, what the
What-
heck is
what the
this?
fuck is this? And just look how many fucking parking lots there are. Like, it's so weird. I mean, I never really realized until I saw those videos, but in America you have more space for parking lots than space for actual buildings in many places.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's also why like the cities look so unappealing. Like there's like so much free space just full of gray, boring parking lots, and I don't know. It's just like, unless you're like in the center of the city, it really doesn't look like a very pleasant area usually.
And the thing is, that's an aspect that I never thought about, but it's like also an objective massive problem is that suburbs are like portrayed as this ideal of the middle class that is the backbone of American society, yada yada. But suburbs are like a financial loss for the city because they are so inefficient. They are so inefficient and expensive to build and maintain that you basically they are basically a Ponzi scheme in a way, because they are so expensive that they don't really finance themselves properly. They instead finance themselves by the promise of more suburbs being built in the future.
Yeah.
So, because it's so expensive to like connect them with infrastructure and stuff like that, and with road infrastructure, because you need to drive over them constantly. They take up so much space. You need so much distance to get out of them and to get into them and stuff like that.
Okay, I
So
just
they're
want to
basically-
try something now.
They're basically getting subsidized by other forms of like housing, which is really funny because you always hear like, the middle class in the suburbs, that's like the American ideal, but I mean, it's kind of what bankrupts American cities. That's like interesting. So far-
Dazuke Mazume says, your Weltmeister thing has such a beautiful dark color scheme. Why do you scorch your eyes on light theme in PyCharm? That's not PyCharm, that's PSP Storm. But
yeah,
I don't know, my eyes are strong enough. I don't know why yours aren't.
is the color too bright? Are your eyes are too
Wait,
weak
what?
or whatever?
What? This is... What? Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
And like the another funny ironic thing is, despite America being so car-centric, it also really sucks to drive in a car there, because the traffic design is so bad that you constantly have to stop. There was a statistic that a bicycle rider in Amsterdam has the same average speed as a car driver in your average American city.
Okay. Yellow Camel actually has a question.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry if you explained it already. What does the fill percentage of the arrow pointing towards the enemy under the
that's
health bar
brake
signify?
bar.
That is the new brake bar. I mean, the idea is that the brake bar should look a bit different from a normal HP bar, unlike in Crosscode. So the idea is now it's an arrow. That's kind of like, after I tried a few things, that's what I liked more. And it also kind of like compacts, and you can see it even if you didn't hit the enemy yet. So you can keep easier track of the current break state. That's kind of like the idea here. So if it's filled, it disappears and the enemy is effectively broken. You don't really see it that well yet. I still need to add some effects for that. Actually, that's something I could do next. Ooh. Okay, I actually changed something now, like a very subtle thing. I moved the camera position to be at the ground below Juno. And I mostly did this so you can have a more even spread of how you can see below and above Juno, because I noticed that you can see up much further than you can watch downwards because of the perspective. And I think now it's a little bit more balanced. overall. So I think I like this more. So essentially the cameras moved down a little bit. Yeah. Like just one tile. Yeah, this is already it's already fun to fight. That's actually nice. It's a good sign.
And I already really like the spinning animation.
Yeah. I actually wanted to make an attack with that too. I mean, it is essentially very much like the crossword combat system. So... So, I think this sword really is a little bit too fast now. I mean, Stefan already said that he would like to make it slower. And after I realized how much fun it is to fight with a slow hammer, I kinda agree. I want to make the sword kinda slower now. And we can keep that really high speed for like the ton for weapons. So.
Spoiler?
Yes. I like
Is that a spoiler?
I don't know if,
Oh, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know if
we mentioned it
I
before.
think we mentioned that.
might
at
have
least.
mentioned it, yeah.
Yeah, probably. Boom. Okay, so we have the enemy walking towards me as us, and I think it can stop a bit faster. Okay, that's so too. Okay, this feels better. Now it's actually not flying outside the screen all the time. It's really important to kind of like test these things in the open space so you can better judge that. Kind of like, yeah, it's also moving away too fast. Doesn't need to move away that much anyway. This kind of like, this little movement, making the enemy move backwards before attacking, this always makes such a huge difference to make the enemy feel like better. So you better realize that it's now attacking, it feels less chaotic, and also makes it kind of look cooler, even though it doesn't really make all that much sense, but it's such a huge deal. So whenever you make an action combat system, I kind of like suggest you try this at least. Make the enemy move back first before it dashes towards you. It's I think it really helps.
That's something that even the very old classic cartoons already knew, because they also often did this going back a bit and then to then go forward. For like,
it's kind of like it has this kind of impression of preparing to accelerate and all that.
Right.
And so it kind of like, it looks meaningful, but like the biggest plus is it moves the enemy away from the player. So the player actually, there's some space between you and the enemy that makes it much more feasible for the player to realize the enemy is attacking, because if it does it right next to you, you usually don't notice because there's too much visual crowd. Like, you're attacking, there's hit numbers, there's effects, and you really don't see the enemy doing something. And like, since there's a little bit of space, it also gives you time to kind of like react as the enemy approaches to you. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, the next thing I will do is actually I will make the weak stake better, because right now it doesn't even have a proper weak animation, but we can add this pretty easily because we have a freaking animation system. Okay, let's see. We have a hit animation actually. So I can just make it put it on the ground.
Another great example for amazing street design in Discord.
Yeah, honestly, like one of the biggest things about the whole prototype, I think, really is like the animation system. That was like one of the biggest risks too, because I wasn't sure if that works, but I think currently it really pays off that we took that risk and implemented this. Because so far I get the impression it really makes a big difference.
I'm a tiny bit scared about how many attack forms there already are. Especially because there will obviously be more enemies that can be countered. I would assume the weapons are unlocked progressively? Question mark?
I'm a tiny bit scared about how many attack forms there already are, especially because there will be... You mean like how many different kind of attacks you can do with a weapon? Yes, you will get more weapons over time. Like there's not... You don't have them all at the same time. Like obviously there will be a lot more combos, like different kinds of attacks you can do with a weapon. But I know, like this is more like a detailed mastery thing. Like you can actually play and probably successfully beat the game without learning all those detailed combos. That's at least the plan. But it kind of like helps you to like really get good at the game. You can like use all the combos that you have to beat enemies more effectively. I think that is at least the plan, I think.
That looks great. You can change outfits with the system. Or was it a question? Maybe. I mean, we can, I think.
Yes, we can. Yes, you can, actually.
So it's way easier adding skins than with crosscode, because in crosscode we basically had to like reskin all the poses manually. Oh, it's past 10. We can talk about anime.
Oh yeah, it's that late already.
Odd Taxi is good, but we can't really talk that much about it because we would spoil things.
Yeah, like one of the big things
series.
is like it has a very good twist at some point.
Yep. It has many good. It has several good twists, I think. And also the way the dialogues are written are very nice. And it teaches you important things, like be careful with your gacha, and don't take risky loans to date a girl 40 years younger than you or something.
Yeah, don't do that.
I don't know.
And this guy was such a train wreck, though.
He was even worse of a train wreck than the gacha guy.
Yeah.
Anyways. I mean, he didn't try to kill people, but still.
At least that, yeah.
And also, murderous waifus are the cutest waifus.
Yes, obviously.
The biggest takeaway. Speaking of Felix, I finally continued watching Jobless Reincarnation recently.
Okay, I have no idea what that is actually.
I will tell you about it, Felix, soon. I will just give you some background that I watched like the first 4 or 5 episodes at some point, and then didn't continue for no good reason, basically. Then I continued, and then I basically binged quote unquote it until the recent episode, which should be, I think it was 14 episodes I watched in that time, because now it's episode 18, the newest one. So I binged like 14 episodes in 3 days or so, 3 or 4 days. And it's good. It's basically, Felix, it has reincarnation in the title. So, what is it, Felix? Guess.
It's an isekai.
I'm gonna give you multiple choice. Is it A, a big... damn it, no,
I already said isekai, isn't it? It's a freaking isekai.
Okay, it's an isekai. However, it is a very old, not very, but it is a rather old isekai, or based on a rather old isekai. That only now got an adaptation, but we got a question. Pointy tail, is that a weapon / XSP attack? Question mark.
Well, a little bit like there's an attack like this one here that I still need to implement, which essentially is very spiky because of the tail, and that might look familiar to another enemy.
So as that pointy tail, I was a bit confused what he means. So Felix, it's an isekai. It's based on a novel or a web novel from the 2010s, from the early 2010s. And the good thing about the series compared to most other modern isekai is that it's more like, you do remember Tanya the Evil, right? So a person dies and reincarnates in another world, but at least he reincarnates from birth. Like he reincarnates as this 14 or 16, 20-year-old dude who instantly is like a super badass, but instead he has to actually grow up again, which is already nice because it gives a more of a development, a forced development to the character before he just goes out and starts kicking ass. It's pretty nice already. Oh hey, that's attack exactly what the crosscode enemy uses. The Beaslov? What do you mean?
Well, yeah, that one too. But you know, like the other enemy that you may see very early in the game.
Oh, you mean the rolling attack? Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Yes. And also a stinger attack could be like the scorpions, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to describe why the series is good. I mean, it definitely has some aspects that are very off-putting to many, I think. Mainly that the main character is a pretty big shitbag in some ways, because he's super perverted. Again.
Oh boy.
But the thing is, it actually gets treated with some seriousness, because you know how in many isekais it's often said like, yeah, he's a bit of an otaku loser, but he's a kind of an otaku loser that's still kind of good looking and still somewhat socially adjusted and things, right? In many isekai stories. Or even like a somewhat nerdy guy who still has a job and is still pretty socially respected and stuff. Well, not in this case. This case, he is an otaku who is like basically he's a fat loser, basically.
Okay.
He's like
an actual otaku. Okay.
Like an actual otaku, and like a shut-in, like a real shut-in, who's like heavily overweight, who got bullied heavily in school, and basically, yeah, he basically dies when he is a complete. I mean, it's called jobless reincarnation. He basically dies when after his parents die, and he gets thrown out of the house because he's a jobless nerd. Not a jobless nerd, jobless NEET, without any friends, without anything, and then he basically gets hit by a truck, of course, because that's how it works.
It's always the freaking trucks, damn it.
Yeah, but again, this series did it before most other series did it. So actually, and then the main premise is basically, yeah, he reincarnates as a baby. He still has his memories, but he thinks, yeah, I will use this new life in this fantasy world, because of course it's a fantasy world, to basically make use of this new life to actually live a good life this time around.
Okay.
In comparison to the first life he had, which basically he felt like he completely wasted and he was completely unhappy the entire time. So it's basically a concept that's actually somewhat interesting, because you know, it actually has some dramatic weight compared to like some otaku guy who's just a rather idealized self-insert who just lives his dream life in a game world now. I mean, yeah,
well,
he still is a great. I really like that the word baby is apparently a term that you have to whitelist.
Who?
That's interesting. I guess they want to prevent people from going to female Twitch streamers and saying, "Hey baby, how are you?" or something.
Great. Yeah.
Or hey, you play on easy mode? What are you, baby? Something like that. Yeah, I mean he's still a pervert and stuff like that, but I can at least. It is still sometimes very annoying, but it at least feels like it's framed in a more in a way that makes sense, and it at least gets kind of criticized by the story. He always gets into trouble because of his pervert shit, and that people don't really appreciate it, and even he is often like, yeah, I guess it's a bit shitty of me to do this.
Okay.
Like, yeah, okay.
I mean, I can see that this works actually if it's like handled in a good way, these kind of characters. Like,
yeah, and also
the concept itself isn't flawed.
Yeah.
So mostly the execution. Yeah.
Very important. The rules of the world are not based on gaming rules. You don't have like levels and SP, and I have to do my level up and put my SP over my somehow existing in-universe game menu into stuff.
Okay.
Which you sometimes have in certain. And in general, the magic system and stuff like that, it doesn't really feel all that game-like compared to many other isekai stories.
Okay.
And also, again, he starts as a baby. He is very talented in magic and stuff, but he still isn't like an instant super badass. like instantly. He still isn't that good of a sword guy, for example, and it at least gets communicated that he really also works his ass off to get where he's going.
I see.
And also and one of the main draws for the series are also that the production values are just like super top tier. It just looks so good. Yeah, it has super great production values. It's pretty insane actually. And in general, it also has like this sense of adventure that like more traditional fantasy series should have, which is also really nice because you basically just don't have that as commonly anymore because of how isekai basically sterilize fantasy adventure series in many ways, that you don't really get the sense of adventure in those series anymore compared to like your typical power fantasy trip. But that series still has it, and that's good.
Okay.
Hey Felix, have you been reading something interesting lately?
Have I been reading?
topic,
Actually, I
yeah.
haven't been reading that much recently. Let me think.
Felix, no.
I've been playing Disco Elysium. Actually, I continued.
Right.
First of
I also
all,
need to
I
continue it.
finished God of War. I actually finished this
Yay.
game. And the funny thing is I finished it lots earlier than I realized, because turns out I actually beat up the final boss, and then I thought, oh, let's take a break. Then I continued playing, and I just had to play the ending. That's it. That was like the last fight, and
That was great.
I expected there to be more, but no, that was the final fight. Like I think the biggest flaw of God of War, in my opinion, is that it really doesn't have a lot of great, memorable boss fights. There's only like a few, and the far majority of battles really is just recycled enemy types. That is kind of like, the game looks really great and all, and the combat is also fun, I think, overall, but like it could have been more variety, and I think they kind of prioritized a little bit in a strange way. You know, Breath of the Wild also doesn't have a lot of enemy variety, but that game at least had like a decent amount of memorable boss fights. Like just the dungeon bosses were like memorable enough. There was like a big final boss that you kind of like recognize that's the final boss. But kind of like in God of War, I got the feeling like, I don't know, there really wasn't that much.
I think I remember too.
Yeah.
I don't think I even remember the last one.
Yeah, like now they're doing a sequel. Maybe in the sequel they will be able to actually add more variety. I mean, I think one issue is like the game presents you so much stuff out there, which is all essentially just part of the potential sequels now. So like they're talking about Odin all the time. I'm thinking maybe Odin shows up, or maybe Thor, like some of the others. But no, there's no new. There were like some other gods later that showed up, yeah, but not that many overall. So like not so much content-wise overall. I mean, it was still a good game, I thought. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I still didn't beat all the Valkyries. I didn't beat, like, I heard there's like a very strong Valkyrie at the end, and I kind of don't want to do that, because the last time I fought a Valkyrie and managed to defeat her, my hand was hurting for half a week. So I'm not
Wow.
kind of feel I'm getting too old for these kind of games. Or like yeah, it's like I also honestly, like the most weird thing is I had similar experiences with playtesting the final boss fights I did with Crosscode.
Soon Radical Fish Games needs to pivot itself towards I don't know, a building game or like farming simulator.
Yeah, I'm getting too old for this fighting game shit, man. But yeah, anyway, that was God of War. I think I bought this like 2 years ago or something. I finally beat it. And now I'm playing Disco Elysium again, and it's actually really nice. So now that I got into it, and you really need to take your time and read a lot of stuff and get into the lore and everything. But so far it's really interesting. And I'm not sure how... Did you play it too, Hannah, further? I mean,
started playing. I'm not very far into it, but I also planned on prioritize it currently to finally beat it at some point.
And it's almost
super interesting.
scary on how many different ways you seem to have to do things. Like, you can fail so many things that kind of seem like they're very important and essential, and it kind of like makes you wonder in how many ways could you play this game, and how different things would kind of like go if you did this and that. And there's a lot of these random checks, and there were like some occasions where some of those random checks I just reloaded a few times until I got like a good result, because I don't know, that's always like I think the big of a problem with these random check things.
Yeah, I mean,
I tried to not to do it too much, but I was like one moment where I thought, come on, 40%, I could do that, and tried like a few times, and
I mean,
took some.
I think often just reloading doesn't even help, because I mean, does the game use proper RNG?
I'm not really sure. Like at some point I think I reloaded like 3 or 4 times and it didn't work. And then I gave up and I continued playing a bit more. And then I played a little bit longer further. And then I did some stupid shit and I thought, oh come on, I need to undo this. Like, I don't know, use some healing items which I didn't want to use and all this kind of stuff. And then I reloaded the same save I had before when I was retrying the checks, because I didn't save after that. And then I thought, okay, I can try it one more time, I guess. And then I did it. And then I also succeeded in another check, which only had like 20%. And that actually made a huge difference on how things progressed. Like, I don't know, like it was like a whole different thing. Like suddenly I essentially already solved something that I could have not solved at all, or I could have postponed to another day or something, like. And it's kind of like impressive and also scary in how many ways you can do things there, it seems.
I mean, it's also funny that like it's not only that you can often fail stuff and still succeed in some other way, but also often there's quite often where successes actually have shitty results for you, because your psyche basically tries to tell you some stuff that this part of your psyche would want to do, but it's actually not a very good idea to do that. It's like also one of those things that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, like there's this one part in you that can really likes you to take drugs, and it always tells you, oh, you should actually not do this, and like, hey, how about you start this one quest which is about consuming a lot of these drugs and all that. It's like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in this game. Okay, let's see. Enemy weak, blank, -1. Let's see if that all works. That's actually now trying a lot of systems that I didn't use before. Damn, what happens actually now if I do this? Oh wow, it actually works. Whoa, no wait, that doesn't work. Oh, I see what the issue is.
If the bosses are as amazing as in CrossCode, then I won't be complaining. Heck, it doesn't need to be on the same level for me. I mean, we still want to at least hold our...
We want to at least stay on the same level if possible. Yes, it works. Okay, nice. So now I can essentially start, and it actually stays blinking. You can even test this in the enemy editor. Look at this, Hannah. I actually now made a start weak effect that permanently plays this effect, and if I start this effect, it permanently stays that way. I mean, this actually is a little bit broken. Maybe I will actually disable that. And then you can go to the end weak effect to essentially end this. Okay, so let's see if that actually works what I want to do. Reactions. Break. Start weak. And then end
by the way,
weak.
have you heard of the recent kerfluffle about how the quality in the Cowboy Bebop live action show apparently isn't what people expect it to be?
I saw just a little bit of it. Yeah.
I saw a few scenes. I mean, I haven't seen it myself. I only saw a few scenes that were a bit like, okay. I'm not sure what you were going for there, but like this damn pun. How can you use this kind of pun for a shitty dialogue, man? Don't do
Which
this.
the one pun that you actually
That I posted, yeah, with the black male. Oh, but you are a black male.
that was oh boy. Oh boy.
I mean, like, in terms of structure, this is kind of a pun that I would make. Maybe not with this topic, but it's like, but I wouldn't put it as like a line in my series that I'm writing for.
Oof.
Like, what the heck, man? And then I also saw the scene where they introduced like the hacker. The hacker boy / girl, I'm not sure what it actually were. Ed, right. And Jesus Christ, man, it's like some terrible. It reminded me so much of like those hyperactive like toy commercials from the 90s. I mean, I assume they still are that hyperactive today too, but it very much reminded me of those. I was like, oh man, what did they do there?
Oh no, it's underwater. Underwater battle.
Point taken. I heard it met quite a few
Whoops.
people's expectations for what an adaptation would be. Yeah, okay. Point taken. Phoenix, you noob.
What? Right, so weak effect also works. Maybe could be a bit stronger though. Let's see. Weak. Enemies weak. Blink. There. Let's increase the alpha again. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, that's better. Now you can probably see that the enemy is currently weak. Boom. Nice. We are getting somewhere. Starts looking like a game.
Starts looking like a game.
No. Well, oh. Actually, something we should do, Flora, is adding this rendering that you can see enemies behind trees and other objects.
Oh.
And player 2. I mean, essentially, we're just rendering some figures again, and they have a different shader where they just check if the depth rendered under the pixel is actually, you know, above them, and only then you will render the color, you know? That shouldn't be that difficult, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe we can even do it in one step.
In one step? No, I don't think so. That only works if...
Don't we already do the depth test by hand? Or manually?
No, we don't do this for solid geometry.
Oh, okay.
I would do it in a second step in general, because then we are also flexible and we can do stuff like... the thing is, something I want to make sure is you don't do this every time the depth is above the actor. There should be a certain delta, because otherwise you have weird stuff like you step behind the stone and you already see your character transparent behind it, and it's a little bit annoying when that happens. So there should be a certain Z delta before you actually see things behind an object. And to make these kind of checks, I think a separate step. You know, it won't be that expensive, I think, because you only do this with certain dynamic entities, essentially. So this only happens with dynamic entities, and only those that are on the screen in any case. So there's many ways to filter this. So in practice you will only have like a few entities that do these kind of computations at a time.
Yeah, maybe we can make it like this, that Z delta you meant. Maybe we can use the base position of the entity so it's consistent over the whole graphic.
Oh yeah. I mean, we should just try something. Because that would already help, because we do want to have geometry that's hidden, but I also not plan to do this in every case. Like sometimes you want to use this like for big trees like this, but sometimes there might be insufficient to just see, like for instance, when you're just behind this here, it would be nice to actually see the enemy behind it a little bit. Something like that anyway. Actually, something I would suggest is that it doesn't happen immediately, and when it starts happening, it's kind of like dithered in. Like, I think that's probably the best. So like when it's very close, you only see it like a little bit in dithered, and then if it's like the Z delta is very far, you see like the full silhouette or something like that. I think that probably would look good. Actually, the same thing actually I would like to do for this year. You know, this kind of like suddenly planning away. This this will always might always happen if you zoom in, you know. It's hard to avoid this entirely, unless we kind of like tweak our Z far and Z near a little bit. We could also just tweak the Z far and the near values for this kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe
we should do that probably.
But if we still cannot find a good solution, we could also use dithering. Can essentially say if the thing is very close to like the Z near thing, then just add dithering, so it is, at least it fades out more elegantly, you know?
Yep.
But yeah. Also smaller details. Okay, is there any question that I missed?
Or not? There are some Farben to... I don't know what the person is talking about. Maybe I should... I'm not sure if it would be... we can't speak French, but, so...
Oh yeah, we're talking French now on our stream. That's how far we got.
Maybe they want the... see if I can try... Or it might not even be French, because DeepL doesn't... Is it French?
Yeah, that's not French. C. Ha ha ha. Is it C? No, wait. I have no idea what language it is.
Okay, anyway. Si sacre bleu de la...
Yeah, can we keep it to English and maybe German, so we can moderate?
Yeah.
Because
please
if you use slurs in different languages we don't know, and that sucks.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, another thing I can do is just make the hedgehog walk sideways a little bit. Do we have walking sideways? Probably not. Or do we?
Anyway, I'm gonna be away for a few minutes. Be right back.
I have a way how to do this. Ah, here we go. Target.
You're walking in the woods. There's no one around and you're...
Oh no.
Out of the corner of your eye, you spot him. He's following you, about 30 feet back. He gets down on all fours and breaks into a sprint. He's gaining on you. You're looking for your car, but you're all turned around. He's almost upon you now, and you can see there's blood on his face. My God, there's blood everywhere. Running for your life from
This... that thing, oh my gosh. Killing for sports. Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
You seem to have lost him. You're hopelessly lost yourself. Stranded with a murderer. You creep silently through the underbrush. Aha! In the distance, a small cottage with a light on. Hope. You move stealthily toward it, but your leg! Ah! It's caught in a bear trap! Living to the cottage. Quiet. Now you're on the doorstep. Sitting inside. Shia LaBeouf. Sharpening an axe. Shia LaBeouf. But he doesn't hear you enter. Shia LaBeouf. You're sneaking up behind him. Strangling superstar Shia LaBeouf. Fighting for your life with Shia LaBeouf. Wrestling a knife from Shia LaBeouf. Stab it in his kidney. Safe at last from Shia LaBeouf. You leap into the dark woods. Blood oozes from your stuck leg. You beat Shia LaBeouf. Wait, he isn't dead. Shy surprise. There's a gun to your head. And death in his eyes. But you can reach him soon.
Okay.
Okay, I have another version, but then I'm done today.
You
His
decapitate.
head topples to the floor, expressionless. You fall to your knees and catch your breath. You're finally safe from Shia.
By the way, have you pulled on Rebase?
I
didn't
didn't
pay
yet,
attention.
no. I didn't yet.
Okay, that's fine.
For some reason I hear even less of a punch in that version compared to the one before. I don't know why.
Yeah, this is harder than I thought. I added another punch to it.
I don't know. What is the punch sound that you actually use? Maybe you can just put that punch sound in so I can actually hear it, like the pure punch sound. Maybe it's just a different one that I thought.
I mean, I tried several. Let me... I mean, it's on its own. It doesn't sound very like. It doesn't make a lot of sense because it's only in a certain frequency spectrum.
Okay.
Like there's so many things going on in the sound. I have.
Yeah, maybe it's just, I don't know, like turning down the other things, so like the punch sound, you can actually hear them a little bit more, because I think there's so much other stuff.
The thing
going
is,
on.
the punch sounds I have are all very, very short.
Oh,
They're way shorter than the sound.
so maybe you just do not have good punch sounds. I mean,
That could be the case.
did you just take the one that Kovac posted? Did you see that one? I mean,
I can't just use that because I don't think it's free, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we need to... How do I download this? Okay. Yeah, we have to, I don't know. Maybe we just need to find good punch sounds. I don't know if that's the problem. You can ask Aaron again if he has some ideas. I mean, he did have some, like, what did he call it? Like old Western sounds. Those could actually rather work.
He just he sampled them from a movie. And he said he doesn't use them for like official stuff.
I see. You have DBC punch for Inspire. Damn, oh, Dragon Ball is too over the top. That's also like a very unique sound that you realize that it's Dragon Ball.
Oh, I'm back.
Again, thanks for the child buff thing.
Tell your friend. You didn't even skip the VTuber stuff afterwards.
No, why should I? I don't know what Shia LaBeouf would do to me if I would do that.
No, I mean,
that.
but there was also VTuber stuff after that you didn't
Oh,
skip apparently.
yeah, I was too busy discussing things floor.
It was also pretty short, so. LaBeouf is great. I mean, I'm not sure if he's great, but I mean, the song is great.
I just love how the game looks so great whenever you take any short frame of it.
Oh, 3 sounds.
Yeah, we're kind of like
Experimenting
here's heavy
with
punch. Okay. Kovac said something from C sound. Oh my gosh, what the heck? This is like an ear rape sound. This is too much. Holy shit. That sounds like very, very brutal. Yeah, maybe we can just found something on free sounds. Yeah, maybe he has some idea. Yeah, sorry for the ear rub, everybody. I didn't expect this to be so bad. Okay, what did I actually want to do? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's this punch 3-dot wave is also pretty short.
Which one?
The one Kovac just posted. The punch 3-dot wave.
Yeah, that again, that's yeah, like I can imagine that it's difficult with these kind of sounds. Yeah. Let me see if I find something. No. I cannot type punch now. Wow, too much. I'm now listening to sounds on stream. Wait.
It's annoying if you try to find out how these sounds are made back in the day.
Yeah.
You only find like how to make a lightsaber sound or
yeah.
Godzilla or something.
I'm posting some sounds which I think
the
might
huge,
help.
unique sounds, iconic sounds, but not the.
This is not bad, I think. This is not bad. It has like a bit of this slap thing. Maybe you could try something with this, I don't know.
Yeah.
Lettuce it. Oh! Here's one, but louder. Let's punch through the face. Oh, I think I found it. I found the ultimate cliche punch sound. Here it is.
Oh yeah, that is.
So now the big question is, what are the license and where does the sound come from on freesound.com? I don't know. But I think that's kind of like the sound I had in mind. This kind of thing, maybe, of course, less emphasized, you know, but it's kind of like this punch thing, which I think often works for hit sounds.
You know what? I'm gonna download that and just look at the frequencies and stuff.
Okay,
and
this one apparently is Creative Commons. So that usually means you can just use it, but maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, this one can be just used anywhere, essentially.
It sounds so funny.
Yeah, but that's kind of like the cliche punch sound that I always had in, that I think I also heard in the Genshin Impact in sounds. Like I think they use something
it has a
along
similar element. And
yeah,
that's exactly what I am trying to recreate, but it's so hard.
the magic of fucking free sounds. I'm sorry. I mean, there's some sounds from freesounds.org that are also stuck in gross code, I think.
Where did I save it? What?
Fully punch.
Oh, I need to refresh.
No.
This is hamburger sound effect.
Punching ground beef, great. Here's another punch with the whoosh. Okay, I think that's enough. I gotta focus on doing the other thing, like working on the enemy. So, just wanted to make a wipe time here, so I can add a proper time.
Save at last from Shia
It is around 2K. Interesting.
Like a whip. This is actually also not bad, the one that Kovac posted. I'm gonna post this in here too. It sounds more like a web, but it has also an interesting, has like a similar end to it, I think. Or does it? Let me check again. It's so hard. See how these sounds are made, damn.
Yeah, that's like a whip sound.
Yeah.
I actually have quite a few good whip sounds.
Oh. Whoosh, whoosh. I'm out of here. Wing. Meow. Wing. Meow. Wing. Oop. So, back off slowly.
I have an idea.
So now the enemy is properly moonwalking. Like literally moonwalking. Maybe I should make a move backward animation for that, but not important. Oh no.
Oh yes.
No, I'm just talking about the enemy walking to the water.
I mean, it has to do something against its thirst. So. What a lot sound effects.
Hmm.
I have a totally amazing and obviously original idea. That same enemy, but with a gun.
Amazing. We will add this. Yes.
Perfect.
Perfect idea.
I mean, I could imagine like a variant of that hedgehog, but with like a cannon
On the
instead of
tail.
a spike.
Yes,
Yeah.
it had like a gun.
Or
on-
laser.
You know what's the amazing thing? Let me just add this.
Oh.
Let's just to demonstrate how quickly this actually works.
No, do you really want to add a gun now?
Okay, I think adding a gun to the tail is actually a little bit more work.
Oh shit. Really. And again, I mean, you would
just
need a
need-
gun graphic first, right? Or
Yeah, I
You
had
just
to
make
pixel
shape.
like you had to add a gun here at the end. But just modifying the graphics of the tail would be enough, and then you would already have a gun stuck on it with the same animations. And then you just probably need to animate the tail a little bit differently.
oh, Felix.
Hmm?
You know something amazing that also happened recently?
Hmm? No.
Super amazing. It will be super interesting to you. You know this guy who's like a son of the producer of Terranigma, right?
Yes, I've heard of him.
He has like made like a manga called Kaguya-sama or something. And also a manga called Oshinoko that you should also definitely read some one day, Felix. I repeat myself, but you should. But also, Felix, he has created a design for a YouTuber. So now he's basically a papa. How it
Yeah.
works. How you call people like that. And that VTuber actually debuted.
Okay,
So
that's great.
to less. So the audience was actually much less than I expected. I guess the market kind of started to get saturated, especially with a small company, a small new group. But she's super cute. She has a very cute voice, and she speaks English a bit.
Hmm.
Not just a bit. She speaks it really good. It's really nice.
I saw that
design.
with Croissant Club, yeah.
Croissant. It's really. I love that she puts that in there. The question: can I eat croissants on your head?
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny. Anyway, I hope she gets successful, becomes successful.
So if you actually see like Yuno fighting with the stick of a hammer, that's still a bug.
That's
That
like
is-
one of my That's when you
Or like also,
swap
actually,
weapons, yeah.
something I didn't show, but the hammer actually gives you an option to do the downward strike immediately, which essentially is just by holding the attack button. You do this immediately. Poof. And if you also do that and change the weapon, then you do that with a sword. But yeah, that's obviously a bug.
Yeah, no. And it's also funny, as I think I posted screen of that, when you do the normal combo
Yeah.
and then switch to sword, and it looks like Juno has like arm blades or something.
Yeah.
Because the swords are basically strapped to her arms.
Yeah, that's because we move the weapon around a lot
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
animation. It's a two-handed weapon. So
So I think it's still not as funny as the invisible gun or the invisible crossbow.
yeah,
That we
but
had
that one
before,
should be
that we had-
fixed now.
It's fixed, yeah, it's
Yeah.
fixed. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think you fixed that specifically. It's rather you fixed that that Nuno still has the aiming raised when being in an event, and that fixed it automatically, basically.
By the way, I had another idea, Flora, that you probably also might think is exciting. I could, in theory, like just sample the tip of the weapon when you sweep it around and check if it's close to the water or below the water. And when you do that, I could just spawn a water splash effect at this point. So essentially, when you move the weapon through the water, you would actually see like an effect in the water that way. Just overlaying effects with the water, obviously. I wouldn't.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And I think it's not even that difficult. Like we would need to determine some standard effects, and then we can do that with any kind of sweep. Like essentially, whenever you sweep around, check if water is close, and then you show like that effect.
Cool.
Yeah. So much stuff we can do now.
Has the weapon question be answered already?
No. Are there going to be different? Yeah.
Are there going to be different types of range weapons as well, like guns and slings? Yes,
Yeah.
but maybe not guns and slings.
Yeah, not those in particular, but there will be different range weapons, yes.
Imagine Juno, but with a gun. No, I mean we kind of want those weapons to feel very differently, and guns would
Yeah.
feel very much like a shotgun or not a shotgun,
Yeah.
like a crossbow, not a
Yeah.
crossbow, like a crossbow, you know.
Yeah.
Crossbow,
But you know,
right.
maybe at some point, ProjectTerra characters will also end up in, what is it?
In Fortnite.
Fortnite, and then you will have like the weapon action.
Oh yes, Naruto in Fortnite is so amazing. It's so funny. It's so fucking funny, those fucking memes.
Yeah,
And it's not even memes, it's just clips from the damn game.
yeah.
You don't even need to
No, I
meme it
actually have to
anymore.
say, when I saw those clips, those kill sounds when you actually defeat someone in Fortnite really sounds satisfying.
See that, yeah?
I think that
I mean,
those shooter games probably perfected these kind of sounds.
I mean,
because I think you have
yeah.
similar nice sounds, and I think Doom also has some very nice sounds. Or like Apex
Apex
Legend
also-
apparently is also very good.
Apex has amazing sound design. Like
Yeah.
the design. First of all, the shooting sounds from the weapons are really good,
Mm,
and secondly, whenever you break a shield with your weapon, the
Yeah.
design is so satisfying.
mm,
And also, I mean, in general, when you hit enemies, it always has like this oomph effect. It's a
mm,
really good one, and it really is super satisfying. Yeah, right. When you down someone, it also has like a really good sound.
mm.
And when you sliding feels and sounds good. It's really good sound. But then again, I mean, it's basically a AAA game, and I mean, if you fuck up the sound design, then what the fuck are you even doing?
I mean, games like Xenoblade 2 very much fucked up the sound design at times.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And like Final Fantasy 7 games, even like Square Enix games of AAA production, sometimes the sounds are weird. Well, not so much the action sounds, but more like
Okay, I can see that.
like sound design of doing cutscenes and all that. isn't always ideal.
But I mean, those more stylized shooters should definitely have good sound designs, and I can't
Yeah.
really see a successful stylized shooter with a competent team not having good sound designs.
That's
I mean,
true.
I would still say that Apex is like even by those standards really good, but I mean, yeah. But yeah, and the funny thing is that apparently, as far as I understand, like first of all those Naruto characters can do all those Fortnite dances that already existed, and also characters that have already been in Fortnite can also do special poses that you get from the Naruto update. Like like you can have Master Chief now do those ninjutsu signs and stuff like that. It's all very funny. Let's see if I can find a clip. Master Chief, Fortnite, Naruto. Master Chief and Naruto sweep the streets in Fortnite. Gone wrong.
Oh boy.
Ah, I see. I literally sweep the streets.
Something feels weird about the tracker.
So stupid. Oh yeah,
Mm.
right. And Rick from Rick and Morty is also in Fortnite, which caused some really funny gifs.
Oh, I think the tracker's never reset, that's why. It just keeps moving. Ah, okay, that's... how to do that? No, that's something I still need to implement, but I think that's too much work for today. But yeah, well, at least we got somewhere, I think. So now we have like a dash with a proper effect when it's actually targeting you. So that looks already much better, I think. Then we have a proper weak animation where the enemy is also blinking red. So that's new. And then finally we have the enemy just walking around a little bit, so it's not always staying still. Mostly, at least. So yeah, that feels much more like an enemy now, I think. So
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think this pretty much concludes our stream. We now have like 11 o'clock.
Oh no.
Oh boy, here we go.
Felix, look in Discord real quick. There's some nice examples of the Naruto Fortnite thing. That's
Ooh.
so we can. Also,
Don't
think
forget
I
us.
I think I didn't show you, but have you? I think
What?
it's not,
Where is it?
it's not
Ah.
on there anymore. Have you taken a look at Wikipedia, at the English Wikipedia yesterday?
What the heck?
I- basically playing the first Shippuden opening.
Oh wow. Let's go there. God damn it.
It make you interested in Fortnite, right, Felix?
Huh?
No. It really makes you interested in Fortnite, right, Felix?
Oh boy. Oh. Great.
Yeah. Have you visited Wikipedia yesterday?
No?
I'm just gonna post something, and it's. Let's just say, when I took a look at Wikipedia yesterday, I thought for a second if I was on the wrong homepage. Because
Okay.
there was a certain weird animated GIF on the front page because of a "Did you know" entry. I was
Oh wow. Okay,
Wait a second, what?
great.
What? Yeah, I mean, yes, Wikipedia. In fact, I did know that already, but
Yeah, okay, great.
I was a bit surprised to see this kind of GIF on your
I guess
front
sometimes
page.
that is maybe noteworthy. I don't know. There was a
Yeah, I
question:
mean,
are the textures
yes.
and 3D models for the terrain pre-made and just pasted in, or automatically generated when you make edits in the level? I think there are. Well, it's a bit difficult to say. The textures are definitely pre-made, like those are images that we generate in some image editing software. The 3D models are, well, I mean, there are essentially the 3D models are created in our end tools. Like when I assemble a hedgehog, I essentially specify the number of graphics, which are just a couple of billboards, which are generated here. So essentially this is kind of like our 3D modeling tool, if you could call it like that. We also have kind of 3D meshes, like here for instance I have the sprite that we just selected, and then we can just select one of many 3D shapes that will still expand over time. So those are edited in our own tools, and our engine essentially loads those assets and generates the appropriate 3D geometry based on this information. So the thing is, we don't really store vertices, like we don't store the vertex data in our assets, but rather just the information to generate those vertices. And that's essentially how our levels are then generated. And the level itself is a height map, which is again not a 3D model. It's just kind of like a more simplified format to store like the height, the shape, and also like the different textures. But then when this is loaded in the game, it's generating like the detailed 3D geometry that you need for WebGL to display stuff. So that's kind of like how it works. And whenever we edit stuff, we essentially just regenerate all the 3D geometry in that area. Okay, yeah, but that's
Okay,
pretty much it.
Yep, I mean we can end it, but first I have posted something very important in Discord
Oh no.
that you should.
Is that actually is that the main character, or is that like another character?
No, that's not the main character. It's one of his 3 waifus.
Alright, great. And that's the
she's
one
the
that you
best one of
prefer.
ours.
Okay, yeah.
Obviously, because she's the one that is very aggressive and fucks people up. So, and she has fangs and red hair, and yeah.
Here's Hannah's waifu for everybody to see. The one that they can use to get on my nerves now.
Yeah, maybe.
He already started doing though, so I mean.
Barely, Felix.
Yeah.
Barely. I haven't even started yet.
Oh boy.
But one nice thing about her is, you do know Kai, right? Like K. K-A. Why? The one who's like a big inspiration to Vanan.
Okay, what?
I know. What do you mean?
Sorry, I didn't listen.
You know Vanan, right?
Yeah, sure,
Felix.
I know. He's the games hub too now. I see him almost every day now.
Okay, nice. And he has this animator who's a big inspiration to him, who is called K or Kai or whatever. He made like a fan art animation for him once.
I think I know more who you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and he also worked on that series.
Oh.
And he did like this animation loop, basically, not loop, but this animation part, for example.
The one that the last one that he posted. Wow. Okay.
The last one, yeah, and he posted about this, and it was pretty funny, and I'm really glad that he because he makes some great animation. Period. Anyway, Felix, make sure this stream stops.
There's another question though. We should address that first.
Okay.
First time watching one of your streams, but I want to thank you all for your work. Crosscut was one of the best games I've played in a long time, and I'm really excited for whatever you're developing next. Thank you very much. What a nice comment to end the stream now. Okay, another one. Good evening. Yesterday I finished the Crosscode DLC for the Switch with 100%. It was an amazing game and looking forward to Terra. Thank you. Why do we get so many nice comments right before we want to end the stream?
It's usually not the case.
Usually no.
Right,
More dread for Luxon specifically. Oh yeah, more dread. Yeah. Fucking dread. More dread.
nice.
That girl reminded me. This one. Oh.
I disagree. She has pink hair and looks dumb.
Okay. Crosscode is my favorite game ever, says UberGeek77. Thank you very much. That is a very powerful statement. So, okay, let's end with a nice, juicy punch sound. Okay, and also that's Seinfeld leads song. And yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Hope to see you again next time, where we will work on some other Terra related stuff. Terra will go on for a long time, so we're not quite there yet to release anything, but you can see how the game will shape up to something that will be more and more playable, hopefully. So yeah, next stream probably in a few weeks again. Make sure to check out our Discord. There are more regular streams, mostly with Stefan, who's working on content there.
Right.
And yeah, I think that's about it. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope to see you again next time. And until then, bye bye.